Blog Talk Radio.
Well, we sat down for dinner Thanksgiving Day, bowed our heads and began to pray. So thankful for the food that we were about to eat, but we wouldn't have been so thankful if we'd known that for the next 4 weeks we'd be eating cold turkey for breakfast and lunch and dinner each day. It's cold turkey. No matter how much we eat, it just won't go away. I hate cold turkey. Well, Mama shopped around and found a 40-pound one. She cooked it night and day until it was done. Then she got her knife and she started to slice. And it tasted good at first, but now I've lost my appetite for that cold turkey for breakfast and lunch and dinner each day. It's cold turkey. No matter how much we eat, it just won't go away. I hate cold turkey. Well, I miss meatloaf, hot dogs, and enchiladas, pizza, spaghetti. That's what I want. I want a roast beef, a pork chop, a nice thick steak. I don't know how much more I can take of this cold turkey for breakfast and lunch and dinner each day. It's cold turkey. No matter how much we eat, it just won't go away. I hate cold turkey. Well, we finally finished off all that awful meat. I said, now, Mama, can we have some real food to eat? She just looked at me kind of quizzically and said, son, the other half of that turkey is downstairs in the deep freeze. Looks like it's cold turkey for breakfast and lunch and dinner each day. It's cold turkey. No matter how much we eat, it just won't go away. I hate cold turkey. Even the dog won't eat it no more. Oh no, Mama's calling me for dinner. I gotta go. I'd be glad to quit this cold turkey. I could do it cold turkey.
Oh, even the dog won't eat it anymore.
I don't know. Around here, I don't think that's a problem.
No, I think our cats would still dig in. But that was cold turkey.
Yeah.
And welcome to a poetic slice of life. Tonight we're doing open poetry themed with holiday rites, since we are at the beginning of the holiday season. For Kay and I, we started off with Halloween, although some people say it starts with Thanksgiving. We think it starts with Halloween and goes all the way till Easter, right?
Yeah. Are you unmuted?
I am unmuted. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I unmuted before the song was over, just to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody can hear me out there, right? I see Wayne on the board, and I see Angel on the board. Hello.
Yeah.
And I have to prove that I'm unmuted. There you go.
Keep talking.
You're muted.
Like that.
Yep. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, Steve. Okay, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Now we understand that you have to read and run, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found out I've got a few kids waiting for me to feed them tonight, and their mom went off to a concert and didn't tell me she's leaving. So I'm kind of strange when she's back.
Do you have cold turkey?
Oh, no, she had $15 to get away and take you out to eat. So just didn't tell me about it at all. It's a surprise to me. I found out about 15 minutes ago. So I'll get her with you back.
Well,
I got 30, 40 minutes. I ain't no big hurry. I got 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, then hang for a while. I don't know if you want to read first or if you want to drop something else.
Whatever
you,
y'all want to
Wayne.
do. I can do it. You got me on the board. I'll go ahead and read it. You got me on the board.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Now, I just wrote this last night and hadn't had a chance to read it one time, so I hope I do it well, but we'll try to see what happens. It's called It's That Time. The holiday season is almost upon us. The smiles and warm feelings are a must. Get to spend good times with friends. Everyone is in high spirits when the year ends. Thanksgiving is a wonderful treat. To give thanks and ponder the year is sweet. Not to mention all the good food we eat, and our favorite football teams get to meet. After Thanksgiving, everything starts hopping. There are crowds of people shopping. No use talking, there's no stopping. And there's no pounds that we'll be dropping. As Christmas gets near, so many places to go. To the movies to see a Christmas show, or downtown to see a parade floats in tow. Or maybe go outside and just play in the snow. Then on Christmas, there's gifts all for all. Get on the phone, there's loved ones to call. Tell the kids how grown they're tall. How grown they're so tall. Everyone laughing and having a ball. Next day we try to get back to norm. Inside we have a feeling so warm. All of a sudden we must brainstorm. There's a party and resolutions to form. End.
Yes, I really like this. I like how you take us through the whole holiday season with this, right? And yeah, definitely. I love Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah, I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. New Year's I could probably take or leave, but we still have our traditions even for New Year's, even though we barely celebrate, because usually I have to work.
Yeah, you do.
But, yeah, I really like this a lot. I like how you mentioned the good food and the football and good times with friends and Christmas with the family to call and the kids that you sometimes you haven't even seen since last Christmas.
It's true. A lot of them.
Yeah, this is an excellent ride. I really like it. It made me smile, Wayne.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What did you think, hon?
Yeah, I thought it was a very lovely, heartwarming rite because this is something I say all the time. The holidays, they definitely are a time of being gluttonous. I dare to find anybody who does not gain a pound or 2 or 10 during the holiday season because this is a time of year when all you mostly do is eat and spend time with your loved ones and just, yeah, as your right says, spend time with family, going to movies, seeing shows. This is actually one of those times that even though our traditions have changed over the years, and we're empty nesters now, we still find our own way of creating new memories and having fun because the funny thing is, as you get older, it does change. The kids are grown, there's no more little ones moving around, and family, they slowly start passing away, and you have to start creating new traditions. Because I know for us, there's family we only see during the holidays, and sometimes now not even that because everybody's all over the world, living in different places and schedules.
Work schedules, yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny how as you get older, the holidays have to get changing.
I'm thinking about coming and seeing y'all.
Yeah?
For Christmas. Yeah, I might just visit y'all for Christmas.
That sounds good.
To me. We don't have much going on for Christmas that I know of.
Yeah.
We'll get something started.
Ham and sausage gravy.
Yeah. If anything, our son has to work for Thanksgiving, so we're trying to figure out how to do Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's changed, where it used to be every place was closed on Thanksgiving. Now places are open and damn Black Friday starts Thanksgiving afternoon, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah, I don't like the shopping part.
Yeah, me neither. I don't go out on that day at all.
I don't either.
I do all of my stuff online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to cook for Thanksgiving. I'd cook for 40 to 50 people every Thanksgiving for about 10 years, and 2 years ago I stopped doing it. So I'm kind of glad, and I hate it, but I'm kind of glad now because I don't have to get up and go to cook for 40 or 50 people anymore. So I miss it, but at the same time I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I can understand that. When I was a kid, that's about the size of our Thanksgivings.
Yeah, they were big.
They were very big, and there's lots of food and lots of people, very crowded houses, but it was fun. But I also didn't have to prep it at that time because I was just a kid.
Yeah. You got to have the fun without knowing about the work.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of work that does go into it, but yeah, it goes back to what I said. It does all change.
Yeah.
Because so many have already passed away, and when we're growing up, and
I was
different
saying for like 3 days in a row getting things cooked, and we hauled it all out to my mother-in-law's. It was an experience to cook that many people, but it was kind of fun. But it's worn out after that weekend. It was just dead tired after it was over. But it was fun, but I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Actually, I love cooking Thanksgiving dinner, but I've never had to cook for that many. I think the most I've had to cook for is like maybe 6.
When was that?
I don't know, with your dad and Pat and my mom and dad. And
a long time ago, yeah.
James and you and me.
Long time ago. I forget. That's how long ago it was, if I can't remember.
Yeah. Now we just do it for you, me, and James, and that's it. And it's kind of nice that way.
It is, but like I said, the struggle of trying to figure out how to do it this year.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
Even Christmas is a struggle because James works on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And he,
And he's third shift too, so he's got to sleep sometime during the day.
Yeah, so it's like trying to figure out this year is a challenge.
Yeah.
You do a Thanksgiving Day breakfast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We get stuff working.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts. I usually make a breakfast casserole, sausage gravy, bacon gravy, biscuits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but with it just being you and me, we don't cook like that either as much because it's too much for the two of us.
I still do.
I know, but only
we
if
we sent some home for James.
Yeah, 'cause it's too much for the two of us. Sounds odd to say, but it's true.
Yeah. Well,
I like to cook.
I don't know what's been. Go ahead, Wayne.
I said I like to cook. I've owned 2 restaurants, and I was the head cook for Old Charlie's for a while. And cooking is what I'd probably do one of the better things I do in my life. And I've been the neighbors here. I've been cooking for 10 people a night for probably 4 nights a week for the last 3 years. I cook for 10 people at a time. It kind of comes natural.
Wow.
I'm cooking tonight. We're having a dinner tonight.
You still have the fun side of it with the kids being in the house. Because I remember it used to be a lot of muscle.
Kids about run me crazy in the last 2 or 3 days.
Oh. Yeah, they'll do that too.
They always want something. 10 to 13 years old, they always want something.
Yeah.
I love them, but they're a pain in the butt.
I don't think that ever stops because our son's 22, and the things that he asks of us, I still cave into because he's my kid.
Yeah, and it's still a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It is.
But I love him.
My son's 46. So he's a little bit older.
Oh. Yeah, he's around your age.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Stephen, you're my son's age. That's something else. I'm getting an old man.
Oh. No, you're still quite young.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, I feel young.
Yeah, that's all that counts. Is how do you feel?
Yep.
Age is just a number sometimes.
I'm studying longevity and how to stay young. I've been doing it for like 5 years, how to stay young, and I'm doing a pretty good job of it. Everybody says I look like I'm not like I am, but and I feel like I am. So maybe it's working. Maybe I'm going to find out here in about 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh. I think so too.
something funny I have to tell you, Wayne.
What's that?
Well, I see your picture, on old poetry,
Uh-huh.
and you look a lot like a guy I used to work with.
Oh.
I mean, a lot. And his name was Wayne, too.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I took a picture the night I turned 66.
Yeah, so you're still a young man.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty young. Last Tuesday.
Yep, that's right. It was your birthday.
Yeah, Tuesday was Wayne's birthday.
We celebrated in the asylum.
Yeah.
Had a blast.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know whose poem you're planning on dropping next.
Well, since Heavenly Angel's on the board, because I know that she has to go before long, so I was going to put her down now.
Okay. There it is.
There it is. Yeah. And if you want, I will read that.
You probably oughta.
Yeah, because it was written by a woman's voice. Okay, this is by Heavenly Angel, and it's called Our Family Christmas. I see the sweet smiles upon their faces, and I thank God that He placed them with me. What a blessed and what a sweet gift of grace. The best gift given, not under the tree. We are together in this cozy place where love resides and reigns eternally. Laughter rings throughout each room of our home, our family. God is the cornerstone. Our home is not made of mortar or brick, and the best gifts are the ones of the heart. Memories are made, the best, hard to pick, but of our lives will always be a part. Love abounds in every corner and niche of our home, a light that shines in the dark. As we cast aside the ribbons and bows, we've received the best, love's heavenly glow. End poem.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was definitely beautiful, and I agree that family is the most important part of the holidays. And this poem made me think of Thanksgivings and Christmases of the past when, like we were just talking a little bit ago, every one of them was almost like a family reunion in itself because the house was so crowded and seeing everybody. But I think this poem is beautiful and heartfelt. Well done, Angel. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I would have to second that. Although for me, growing up, my holidays were different. I never had the big family celebrations that you did, actually. But when I met you in our younger years, those big celebrations still did come into play. And for me, they were slightly overwhelming. So it's kind of always good to get home and relax and stop putting on my party face that didn't exist to begin with. But it's very true when you speak about memories are made when you're spending time together. Because as you get older, the memories that are made, they are hard to pick because there's so many. And if they make you smile and warm the heart, that's what it's all about. So, yeah, I mean, the holidays through time, they always are changing. They are. Because they used to be one way for us when we were starting out, because I remember when we had James, it was always so busy. We had to go to my dad. We had to go to your parents. And then we finally had our Christmas, and it was like the day just went by so fast. And I was like, where the heck did the time go?
Yeah.
But now it's just you and I, and the hustle and bustle is gone, and we're creating new ways of celebrating. And I know it's easy to reflect, and sometimes it creates moments of sadness because they're gone. And now it's time to create new traditions. So the memories that we do create along the way, always hold them dear because they will be the ones that will always warm your heart. This is a beautiful right, Angel.
Indeed. What did you think of it, Wayne?
I thought it was lovely. It reminds me of a perfect traditional Christmas because this other thing's so warm and cozy and everybody loves each other. It's beautiful. I'm going to go to her house instead of y'all's. Sounds like a good Christmas day, but it's a good place to be. I love poem was real well. I like it.
Excellent comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful right.
Yeah.
But with Heavenly Angel, she always gives beautiful rights to begin with, so I don't think I've read a bad poem of hers yet.
No.
She
Loves everyone
is.
read. Yeah, she is.
She is. She's awesome.
Are we making you blush, Angel?
Maybe a little. Hopefully.
I'm watching for a response.
Oh,
Okay, I see which one you're going to drop next. So speaking of those big Thanksgivings,
Yeah.
that's what I wrote about, one faithful Thanksgiving, where one of my aunts, for the first time ever, had to prepare a turkey, although she never did it, and she had to prepare it for a lot of people. And this is called Poultry of Ghostly White. A family affair. We all give thanks. Every year, someone else's turn to prepare and fill everyone's belly. Auntie's turn this year, though she'd never tried. But the aroma from the kitchen made stomachs growl with anticipation. Mother, father, sister, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins all await at the dinner table. Uncle is called back to help get the turkey out. And there's a small argument from the kitchen. Auntie brings it out and puts the turkey on the table. All jaws drop. Steaming hot, falling off the bone with ghostly white skin. Giblets still in the bag, tumbling out onto the plate. A beautiful rich broth still sits in the pot that she boiled it in. End poem.
Well, I can easily say because I've been with you for 23 years, so I know exactly what this story is about. The thing is, what's really terrible is that's how your aunt always cooked.
Yeah,
So that was not a one-time thing. That was an every-time thing, even for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cooking was not her forte, and she actually boiled the bird.
Yeah.
With the giblets in it still.
Yeah. What's funny is through the years, people still in your family talk about it. And what's even more funnier is at a few of the funerals, they would talk about Alice's dinners, which was even more humorous. It's like through the decades, those dinners are still talked about because of how terrible they were.
But she was a nice lady. She just couldn't cook.
Yeah, she was a nice lady, but a terrible cook. And, those dinners, they definitely, I think even long after she's gone, people are still going to be talking about them. I don't know if that's bad or good, but it definitely brings a smile.
Yeah, well, she makes you smile.
Yeah. Wayne, what did you think?
I think Steve did a good job writing this. It's so realistic. I can feel like I was right there at the table waiting for the turkey to come out. And I like the part about the small argument from the kitchen. Everybody's got this little aunts and uncles got this little bickering they got to do when they get together. And so it was perfect all the way through. It's just like I was there and made me hungry. It's a very good poem. I liked it.
Thank you, Wayne.
Awesome. And I do believe that I picked up Zappa.
Come on now. Or is he muted?
He might be muted.
There he is.
I'm just laughing. Laughing and eating candy. Jill's still in the bag, huh? Holy Cheeto, Batman. I love this. Hey, it's all in the trying, though. You got a lever.
Yeah. The hell of a turkey soup later.
I don't know. It's downright awful. It still floors me that at funerals those dinners get talked about.
Yeah.
I guess it's keeping a sad time upbeat by bringing up something like that.
Yeah, it makes everybody laugh.
It does, yeah. Welcome, Sky, into the room.
Hello, Sky.
Hello.
Hey, Sky.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Sky.
Hey, Sky.
My brain's a little fried right now, so please forgive me. I've tried to write to my own form, and I am seeing circles.
Doing a chevron for him?
No, not that one. Not yet. That one's coming out next.
Is it going to be shaped like the things underneath the chevron sign?
I wrote it in England before this whole gas station thing. So it's I can't tell you what the second one's about. The first one's first. I can't give you any hints.
Oh.
Well, does Zappa or Sky need to read and run?
Yeah. Does anybody need to read and run?
I don't. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm giving you. Is it holiday open poetry?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it could be funny, it could be heartwarming, it could be anything.
Well, I feel like we're going on Christmas rights because that's what I got.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I wrote Thanksgiving.
I only have that one Thanksgiving, and I read it for you all. The
Michael Myers?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all right. Yeah.
Does Zappa have anything to share before I dive into the others?
I don't know. Zappa, did you have anything you wanted to read?
I just threw a quick one up. I was messing around with YouTube earlier. A friend of mine told me about, I think they're called Flash Bomb. And I anyways, I made a poem out, or I just did a little short poem and added the YouTube video of it. It's really cool. I mean, these great musicians, and it's pretty cool. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Sure, since you're here.
Okay, hold up just a second here. First, I'm going to do absolutely nothing because I don't know what I'm doing. You already did. Okay, dang it.
You beat him.
I was about ready to hit the button, too. Looks like the button's already been pushed. It's coming. Okay, this is by some dude holding a rock in front of his face. I entitled it Number 14, the title being just Number 14 of one of Beethoven's, one of my favorite sonatas by him. Anyways, it's called Number 14. I am requited in saying all apologies, you and I. The heavens be memories faded in different directions. And then that's it.
Huh.
Well, I like the AMs, though, because the words and all, it circles back to what you said in your AMs. Actually, there's nothing to apologize for. I'm only happy now. Sometimes in life you have to chase your happiness, even if it means that others don't understand it. Because at the end of the day, it is all about finding what gives you peace, what gives you happiness. Or else you're not truly happy in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not the caretaker anymore, so it's a new experience. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just in saying I was happy now. I don't know. I've got all this free time. I don't have any free time between classes and everything else. It's like, oh my God. But I'm doing it to myself on purpose because it's me time. I haven't had this in a long time. You know, just venturing through. I guess it's the gypsy and the Roma in me. I don't know. You know, traveling 1,000 miles this way, 1,000 miles that way, just to see what's going on. And it's one thing we've all got, you know, money or not, which I went from having quite a bit to having nothing, but I'm happy.
But it feels good, doesn't it? I know for me, I could definitely say it is more happiness.
Yeah.
Because we live simple. I mean, I always say we're broke because of joke, but we do live simple, and through the years I'm constantly changing it up as to what we're doing. But, yeah, I'm happy.
Me too. I actually told somebody else that earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
He had wrote a poem about daylight savings and how we turned the clock back and how we wish we could turn the years back.
Yeah.
And I told him that, you know, this is great, and in some instances true, but I'm actually happy where I am right now. Although I wouldn't mind trimming a few years off of my age, but...
Who doesn't?
But I like this...
you have to embrace that.
Yeah. I like this, Zappa. The last stanza, the second stanza of this brevity is just very powerful, in my opinion, because memories are in all directions, and they're fading. They always are fading. Sometimes harder to recall is what I'm getting from this. This is awesome. Powerful brevity.
Yes. What about Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne, what did you think?
I think it's a pretty touching poem. You've been through a lot, Zeppelin. He's coming through pretty good, and the song you picked at the end was perfect for it, and you did a great job on this.
Cool.
What do you think, Sky?
I thought it was a great brevity, very powerful, and I think even though it was really short lines, you can tell that there was a story behind it. And I think that's where you guys branched off and started speaking about your own experience, because something like this is like a thought, and though it is very personal, it can be taken in very many different ways. And the reader may not know exactly what you're talking about or whom you're talking about, because those details are kind of washed out. It's interesting, and it makes you think of yourself, and it makes you think of how you might imply it to your own thoughts while also wondering about what it means in the writer's life as well. So a write like this is quite interesting, and it's done well. So, job, Zappa.
Cool.
That's an end comment.
Yeah. Okay. Well then. Let me look at the board. And, okay, some Zap on Wayne Wood. Sky's working on hers. Do you want me to take this opportunity to get Randall's?
We could do Randall's. Randall has a SoundCloud, and we have a little something to play before it.
Yeah.
Something that Randall's poem brought this to my mind.
Yeah.
And after you hear this and then hear Randall's poem, I think you'll see why. So yeah, this is funny. It lasts, about 6 minutes. So everybody sit tight and listen to some Cheech and Chong.
Okay, here we go.
Mama, mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? The vato with a bony knees, he's coming down the street with no shoes on his feet, and he's going to... No, that isn't it. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? The guy with the hair on his jaws, Hey, man, come over here, man. I need some help, man.
Yeah, man, I can dig that. Like, what are you doing, man?
I'm trying to write a song about Santa Claus, man, but it's not coming out.
About who, man?
About Santa Claus, man. You know Santa Claus, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I played with those dudes, man.
What?
Yeah, last year at the Fillmore, man. Me and the bass player sat in, man.
Oh, hey, man, you think Santa Claus is a groove, huh? No, it's not a groove, man.
Would they break up, man?
Oh, no, man, it's one guy, man. You know, he had a red suit on, man, with black patent leather shoes. You know the guy, man.
Oh, yeah. He's with Motown, ain't he?
No, man.
Yeah, I played with that dude, too, man.
No,
yeah, he's a good singer, man.
No, hold on, man. He's not with Motown, man.
Well, then he's with Buddha, man.
No, man, you don't know who Santa Claus is, man.
Yeah, well, I'm not from here, man. Like, I'm from Pittsburgh, man. I don't know too many local dudes.
Oh, I see. Well, hey, man, sit back and relax, and I'll tell you the story about Santa Claus, man. Listen, once upon a time, about 5 years ago, there was this groovy dude, and his name was Santa Claus, you know? And he used to live over in the projects with his old lady. And they had a pretty good thing together because his old lady was really fine, and she could cook and all that stuff like that. You know, like she made the best brownies in town, man. Oh, I could remember them now, man. I could eat one of them, man.
Wow, did you know these people, man?
Oh, yeah, man. They used to live next door to me, you know, until they got kicked out, man.
What, they got kicked out of the projects, man?
Yeah, you know what happened, man? They used to live with all these midgets, you know? And the midgets used to make a lot of noise, you know, like pounding and hammering and pounding all night, man. Wow.
Typical freaks.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, they were really freaks, man. As a matter of fact, they all moved up north together, you know.
Oh, they have to go get their head together, man?
Yeah, get their head together, man. And they started a commune, you know. It was called the Santa Claus and His Old Lady commune. It was a real famous one up there, man. And they used to sit around and groove all the time, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Really good time, man.
Hey, that sounds heavy.
Eat the brownies, man. They drink the tea, man. And what they did most of the time, though, was make a lot of goodies, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And they had everything they needed. They only needed to come into town maybe once a year or something like that.
Pick up the welfare check and the food stamp.
Yeah, man. No, what they did, man, is once a year, when they made all the goodies, you know, they used to put them in a big chopping bag, and then they used to take the chopping bag and deliver them to all the boys and girls all the way around the world,
Hey,
man.
well, that's it, man. That sounds real nice.
Oh, yeah, they were really nice people, man. And so much class, man. They had so much class, you know, like even take the way they used to deliver the toys, you know. It's like Santa Claus used to have this really sharp short, man, you know. It was lowered to the ground, had twice pipes, candy apple red, and button top. Ooh, clean.
Yeah, that sounds like a hip snowmobile, man.
No, it wasn't a snowmobile. It was a sled, you know. One of those big sleds, you know. And he used to have it pulled by some reindeers, you know, like reindeers.
Some what, man?
Some reindeers, you know. He used to hook them onto the sled, and then he used to stand up inside the sled and hold onto the reins, and then call out their names, like, on Donner, on Blitzen, on Chewy, on Tavo, come on, Beto. And then the reindeers used to take off into the sky and fly across the sky, man.
Wow, man, that's far out, man.
Yeah, and then when they flied across the sky, they used to come down to places like Chicago, L.A., Nueva York, and Pacoima, and all those places, you know, and then land on top of people's roofs, and then old Santa Claus would make himself real small, you know, like a real small guy, and he'd come down the chimney, and then he would give you all the stuff that he made, man. And dig this, man, he did it all in one night, man.
Hey, just a minute, man. Now, how'd he do that, man?
Oh, well, man, he took the freeway. How else, man?
No, man. No, man. How did he do all that other stuff, man? Like, how'd he make himself small, man? And how'd he get the reindeer off the ground, man?
Oh, well, man, he had some magic dust, man.
Some magic dust?
Yeah, magic dust. You know, he used to give a little bit to the reindeer, a little bit to Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus, a little bit more.
And this would get the reindeer off, man?
Oh, got him off, man. Are you kidding, man? They flew all the way around the world, man.
Hey, that's far out, man. Hey, how come I've never met this dude, man?
Oh, man, he doesn't do that bit anymore, man. It got too dangerous, man.
Yeah, I can dig that, man, because that's a dangerous bit, man.
Yeah, let me tell you, it sure was, man. Like just 2 years ago, man, he got stopped at the border, you know, and they took him into another room and took off his clothes, man, and searched him and searched his bag of goodies, man. And then when he was leaving, man, he was flying through the air, somebody took a shot at his reindeer, you know?
Oh, that's a drag,
Yeah,
man.
it really was, man. And then, man, he went down south, man, and they tried to cut off his hair and his beard, man. And all the time he was getting stopped and pulled over and asked for his ID, man. Just everywhere he went, he ran into too much recession, man.
No, man, you mean he ran into too much repression, man.
Repression, recession, man. It's all the same thing, man.
Yeah, man. It's a drag, man, because we could sure use a dude like that right now.
You know, oh, well, he still comes around, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but he comes in disguises now.
Oh, he went underground.
Yeah, underground, man.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah. Hey, but you want to see his disguise, man? Nobody would ever know it was him, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got a job in front of the department store, ringing this bell and playing this tambourine next to this black pot, you know?
Oh, I seen the dude.
Yeah,
man.
you know who I'm talking about,
man.
Yeah.
I played with that cat last year, man.
What?
Yeah, we played in front of a store, man. We made a lot of bread.
Hey,
man.
wait a minute, man. Santa Claus is not a musician, man.
I'm hip, man. That cat didn't know any tunes, man.
Oh, hey, wait a minute, man. No, he's not into that at all, man.
No, I played with this dude.
Are you sure, man? I'm positive.
All right.
And now I will play Randall SoundCloud.
All right.
Here we go.
This piece was written 12/23/18 for Pam and Rex's Burn the After Midnight Yule Log with the Bad Boys. It's called You Celebrate How? The city's a madhouse, dashing to and fro, through a thin mist here to stay. Bumper to bumper it's slow, cussing all the way. Okay, enough. I'm late as usual. Friday, 5 o'clock, 3 days before Christmas. And I, living a bit detached these days, forgot to leave a margin of extra time for the last-minute shoppers with plastic purchasing power, throwing all sense of budget right out the window. Luckily, my fiancée is aware of my regular mental distractions. I'm hoping tonight's no different after working her busiest week of the year. We've been invited to a Growers Christmas Bash, BYOB. The last B is not for bottle. A few attending, some old school rocker friends, and Manny the hippie from the Letterman show. I'm sure the white elephant gift is some new hybrid strain with a 3-tote guarantee you'll see sound. Finally, she's in the cab. Flashing that smile, I'll soon marry. You seem a little on edge, she says. Everything's cool, I nod. How about a little Christmas music by Switchblade Symphony? Her, knowing I keep a 6-inch stiletto in my leather boot, and tonight's no exception, says sure, beaming with a little slice of heaven. Then I paused for a second. Thank you, Lord. Only on the West Coast could a 7-foot bong with Rastafarian reindeer painted on it as a door prize be considered the norm, complete with a plate of cookies for the Cannabis Cup winner that may take Santa well into next year before all the presents are delivered. I might have to pen this. To all, Merry Christmas. Wishing a safe and happy New Year. From Randall S. End of poem.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought this was really cool, and that's why I had to play the Cheech and Chong. It just made me think of that Cheech and Chong skit. I think this is an excellent write. Cheech and Chong said the rest for me. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I had the pleasure of hearing this last year around the holidays from Randall, and he shared this for tonight's show, and I'm so glad that he did, because this was just awesome all around. And hearing Randall read it and then sing like he did in certain aspects, and hearing his voice mentioning it, this is just, oh my gosh. It encompasses what the Cheech and Chong songs was that you played.
Guaranteed to make you see sound.
Yeah. But the words, they have that that poetic Zen vibe is only Randall can give.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad you brought this tonight, Randall, and appreciative that you brought the SoundCloud too. This is just amazing all around, Randall.
What do you think, Wayne?
Oh man, I put it in his notes. I said it's fantastic. I love it. It'll be one of my favorite poems to read on Christmas from now on. It's wonderful. It's such a great job. I don't know what to say except I like to win the door prize.
Yeah. Zappa, what did you think?
I'm sorry about the picture. I'm just memories of the way we were. I was like, oh my God. You had me at bong, so we're just that's awesome. Though. Time is omnipotent. I just wanted to say that in a sentence. I love your mind. Let me take your mind with me. Great poem.
Awesome. What did you think, Sky?
Did you see a Sky?
Yes, I did.
I think Zappa is hanging too much out with Bella, because Bella's always talking about eating people's brains, and now Zappa's doing it. I thought this was just so wonderful. I really loved the singing in the opening, and I was like, oh, is he going to sing this whole thing? But it was better that he switched off, because the tone of his voice was just so like Friday, 5 o'clock, 3 days before Christmas. It was so like flat-toned, but with expression. And I know that sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. There is this flat tone that people can give with so much expression, meaning like this again, with all the holiday shoppers. And I really loved his use of dialogue. It was brilliant. Flashing that smile, I'll soon marry. Just that little bit, you can understand the relationship a little bit better, and I really liked those little bits of shading in a piece where you get a little bit of background, but you still have this whole storyline. And I thought the serving plates and the ending was just absolutely brilliant and hilarious. So really well done.
And comment.
Comment.
Yeah.
Do you guys
and
like
while
to
you were
hear me say any comment, or I think people just like to hear me.
I think we do. We do like it. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that when you were mentioning Bella, she snuck in right behind you.
Yeah.
Hello, sister.
Did it? Bella,
I heard you. I heard you. you talking smack about me?
I was talking about how you like to eat people's brains. Stop saying that was Zappa. You're rubbing off on him.
Menudo. I love that stuff. I like smart brains. Yeah.
I was cracking in the shadows.
How are you? Did you catch a power nap?
Yeah, I overslept.
That's all right. You missed it though. Cheech and Chong were here. They left though already.
Yeah, we just got done reading Randall's as well.
I miss everyone lately. Just sleeping, but it's a good one. I'm here to eat. Even though we do
Doing that.
Yeah. Wayne said the elves are here.
Yeah, Wayne had to sneak off.
Have fun, Wayne.
So are you ready for me to drop the next one?
Sure.
So I'm not sure how much time Bella has, so I'll drop hers next.
All right. You ready to read, sister?
Oh, okay. So I thought you guys already read mine because Bella was sleeping. So this one, I was supposed to write something about how people celebrate holidays, and I've been celebrating my holidays actually in different countries. And today, or I mean this year, I'm gonna be celebrating it with only my mom, my dad, my cousin, and my nana. Hopefully, my nana will join us. So it's more solemn. That's why it's like this. This one is for you, okay? Ornaments in black and white film. Do I really want to go back to the time where colored ornaments were placed in perfection, to fill one side to emboss memories of cheerful hopes, of venerated beauty, of a feast for tomorrow, laid on the table adorned with shaped recollections in variated chronicles? A looking back of one's spiritual now turned into a speck or just a dot, at least for you. I do not mind spending that time in shadows, in an empty chair, in an empty space, neath the once painted tree filled with twinkling trinkets. It will pass, it always does. There's no end to this. I chose to start it in this way. A solemn day and less carnival. My niece is crying.
Why?
Because she wants that thing. She wants to come inside the room and then get Micah. But that's no. She's crying. She woke me up.
I read this about an hour ago, and I got something from it, and I think I was pretty close. But the holidays, they are happy occasions, but not for everyone. There are those who are lonely, and they feel it even more this time of year. And that's what I saw in this, was the people who don't really have anybody, and how it, ends up being actually a worse time of year for them than a better. I'm glad you explained it, though. That definitely sheds some more light on it. But this is an excellent write. Thank you for sharing it. What you think, hon?
Yeah, I have to agree because, through life, every aspect of life, it's always changing. And that even encompasses holidays that we celebrate, how we celebrate them, and who we celebrate. And, you're right. For me, it definitely made me look back at a lot because, as I get older, and probably also because of loss, the holidays are a bit more trickier because we're those dorks who love to watch the Hallmark Channel that has 24/7 Christmas until January. But I can only do it in doses because we fall asleep to it. And sometimes you'll say, well, why don't you put that on so we listen to it? And I've told you at times, I just can't right now. Because to be around holidays too much, it depresses me more so, actually. And then it's hard to break free of that because it reminds me of loss, it reminds me of the past, and it reminds me of stuff that I can't sit with for too long. Because while the holidays are happy, they do have a lot of sad moments. So I can only do the holidays in doses. And there's nothing wrong as you get older or at this point in time to just celebrate how you want. And if it means that, with a smaller crowd, smaller celebration, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you need.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sister. And I understand that because I told my mom and my father we can't celebrate really because my nana is sick and I my story. So we don't want other people we want people, but we don't want it very chaotic inside the house because it might be the last Christmas for my nana, and we accept that. That's why we just wanted to be just a family. Thank you very much, sister.
Thank you. I just have to say, with what you said, it reminds me of what you and I were talking about yesterday. Because 5 years ago, when we knew it was your father's last Christmas, it was like the darkened elephant in the room that everybody knew that this was the last Christmas. So while we were trying to put on our brave faces and be happy and celebrate, there was also the air of sadness that was very suffocating because we knew that this was the last Christmas, the last New Year's. It was kind of hard to completely be happy when we knew what was in front of us.
Yeah.
But we were trying it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sister and brother.
Thank you. Let's get some comments from Zappa. What do you think of Bella's poem?
I threw down a comment. I had read this earlier, but just earlier, a few moments ago, but I didn't comment to it. I feel the closeness. I really do. Bella's always been tight with her family. The little I've known Bella. And sister, it's beautiful. It really is, sis. I love this poem. And I feel a lot of your love towards your family. And it's a really beautiful poem.
Thank you, Zappa. And brother and sister, I will celebrate my Christmas again with you guys.
Okay. Sky, what did you think of Bella's poem? And no talking smack.
That wasn't talking smack. I was mentioning Bella because I love her so much. It's because I miss her blowing up my phone all day. You haven't done that in a bit. She really does. She blows up my phone. I love it. I love when you do that. I really love that. I do not mind spending that time in shadows, an empty chair, an empty space, beneath once painted tree filled with twinkling trinkets. It'll pass. It always does. If you're sitting in it, it's not empty space. It's full space. I do want you to know that. But I do understand that separateness that sometimes people make you feel for wanting to be alone. And sometimes just because you're alone doesn't mean you're forced to be that way. It might just because you are taking that time for yourself, and that is important to take. You are important to take time for you. And I think it is just, there are so many demands in life with work, with expectations, and even demands of people that we love and that love us, and that we do want to, be there for them and do the things that they want. But sometimes it's important to step back and say, okay, what's best for me? What do I need? And maybe what I need is a small little chair to sit in a corner with a little notebook and to have the quiet. And sometimes that's good. It helps us heal and grow and to reflect. And there's There's nothing wrong with that. But it is also good to take it out once in a while if that starts to consume you. Which here, it could be taken either way. So a little bit of alone time is good. All the alone time, sometimes you might we'll miss you too much, so you're gonna have to come out of it a little bit. So really well done, wonderfully expressed, and I think it's something that we all can relate to from time to time. Any comment? I love you too, Bella.
I would have to agree word for word with what Sky said, because it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do need to time to ourselves, because life is busy, expectations, demands made of us. It's not wrong to want time for yourself. Sometimes you need it in order to come back even stronger.
Yeah, agreed. Like last night. Last night we cuddled up on the couch with a bowl of popcorn and watched an old movie called Mickey and Maude.
Yeah, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing that.
Yeah. Last night, what did I do last night? Well, last night I was writing this one. But Sky, I'm gonna share you something. Last year I was so worried. Who am I going to spend Christmas with? I bugged everybody else, and then brother and sister bugged Kay, and then Stefan, and Ancient Moon, and we really did spend Christmas together, and that is a meaningful one. Even though we're like monitors behind, I shared them that I got drunk and so on. So everybody shared everything, and I will be spending another one now with the whole family with you guys. I'm okay with that.
We'll be here.
You guys are my family now. You guys are my family.
Is that why you have us? You're gonna be spending it with us too, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
You know it.
Be a part.
Yeah.
And my cat wants to too.
Yeah, she's right there.
I'm not gonna mention another name of your cat.
No, not on the radio.
No.
Oh, did Sky pick one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you get all your comments?
I did. Everybody commented.
Oh, nice.
Sky, time to read.
I'm ready. I'm writing a book here. Okay.
Up on the shelf.
So this one, it doesn't mention the word holidays, but it was for one of Sarah's holiday countdowns. It's obviously was deleted, so the contest is no longer in there. Oh, she hates me. She's so mad at me. Okay.
I understand.
She doesn't. She does the Christmas countdown every year. We're actually doing it together this year. I've been sucked into as a co-host, and we're going to do something really different, really fun. But she does do the Christmas countdown, and it's based on alliteration. This year it's not going to be, but this one. So if you see a lot of, I think this was L. So if you see a lot of L's, this is why. So it's the sowing of heart soil, and it was based off the picture by Sky Darko. I find lessons learned in the skin of youth are not often littered with liquored with age, for I can trace lilac fleece of lavender lace through years tender sowing of heart soil, lettered landfills of grief's narrow labyrinth, lingering leather of lanterns labored lament, the lies of love's leveraged lark, lending lyrics upon a league of lemon lips and bitter rind. Trust is given so easily in naive literatures, and sadly often broken upon stones. But in order to survive, one must learn to lace laughter with a language of levity, to listen for calms of forgiving embrace, for there is a loyal harbor's kindness is given, and life's luggage of loneliness is quelled. The heart heals like reincarnate perennials. So, I learned most importantly to first start with a seed in hand, to shine generous and love boldly through all years, sowing of heart soil. End poem.
Wow. Yeah,
Got a little
definitely.
sappy there.
Excellent alliteration with the letter L in this. It's a bit of a tongue twister. I'm surprised you got through it. Could you read it really fast?
Did I read it? No, I read that one actually. That was slow for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, could you? I mean, like a tongue twister.
Oh,
But
could I read it?
I'm just,
Probably. I
I'm
find
just
lessons
playing.
learned that was challenging me. L's are easy for me. Yeah. L's are easier for me.
I like the last two stanzas.
R's are tough.
Really? They were for my sister too. The forgiving embrace, leaving life's luggage behind. That sometimes, giving that forgiveness can get rid of the luggage. At least that's what I'm getting from that. And the generosity in the last one. I'm looking at the picture. I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely read what it says. But I can read that you got to give to get, and that's definitely true. And when you're younger, it's all about the getting at the holidays.
Yeah.
It's not till you get older when you realize how much fun it is to give, I think. And there's probably a reason for that, because you're greedy when you're a kid. But no, this is wonderful, Sky. I like this a lot. Well done.
Thank you.
Yep. What'd you think, hon?
Yeah, I like the ending when you talk about that in order to survive, one must learn to lace laughter for language levity, because I do feel laughter is very important. And even if you have just one laugh that day, it's better than none, because laughter is very important, because even if you feel like you're falling apart or you want to cry through the laughter, at least you're finding a moment to smile or find that laugh, which means that despite what's going on, it has not completely broken you, if you can still find that smile.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I know. But, when you talk about the forgive and embrace as well, what you said is true as well. Because when it came to my blood family, forgiveness was the most challenging. And it actually took years. And I had to let a lot go. And I did. But the problem is, with forgiven, it also means I cannot forget, which means that despite the fact that I freed myself from them and what was holding me back because of them, it still is also very challenging and saddening as well because of the past. But it is true, it is a weight off of you if you can let it go, if you can look back on it and not feel those extreme emotions, because it does free you. And yeah, what the picture said, in order to get, you got to give. And that swings in every direction of life, actually. Because if you come off as being greedy or selfish only, then yeah, it's kind of hard to get if you're only taking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you always got to find that balance in life. And you've always got to find that balance in every sense of the word as far as forgiveness. Learn to love and laugh and just live. This is a beautiful right that says so much, Guy.
Okay.
Excellent. And Zappa, what did you think?
I'm going to burn in hell.
Oh,
I haven't talked to any of my blood family. Well, I haven't, other than my daughter Sylvia and my son Nathaniel. And I still love my ex-wife. I mean, we communicate and stuff, and we get along great. We do family things. Well, we did family things. Everything's put on hold right now, but like what Kay had mentioned, my blood family, I haven't talked to a single one since August 3rd. And part of my friendship, but I don't want to fucking talk to any of them, to tell you the truth. I'm still. I totally get this poem. My God, Sky, the initial fourth of the last stanza too. Trust is given so easily in naive literatures and sound, often broken upon stones. But in order to survive, one must learn to lace laughter with a language of levity. And I just think of I'm not comparing any of my poetry or anything like that. A poem I'd written a while back called "Despondent Faces," where we put on our faces. It's hard. It's hard to get that trust back. It really is. And so I've learned, most importantly, to start with the seed in hand. Well, my seeds are in my pockets, buried so deep. I'll get to them later. But yeah, you are so right about paying it forward. Giving is good, I guess. I've never really had too many happy Christmases, unless I was, for my kids or something, But giving is a great feeling. Getting, we'll get there when we get there. I'll buy myself something pretty, I promise. Beautiful.
Thank you, Papa.
Awesome comment. Sister, what did you think?
Made me tear a little. Well, you're asking about what's written in the basket. It says there, you gotta give to get. Please fill up the basket with toys you no longer play with. We will take them back to the North Pole to donate love, Fred, and Ginger. So that's what it says in the basket. And yes, I like this poem. I'm gonna bring all my dogs there and put it in the basket. As a toys. Okay, so I like the part when that part too. I listened for calms, the forgiving embrace, for there in loyal harbors kindness is given. Forgiving is very, very hard, and I found it very hard in me. And I remember when the first time I forgave my ex-husband, I really forgave him, and every time I see him, I still swear in front of him, and then I would push him away still and really get mad. And then a priest, I went to a church one time, and the priest told me, and you forgive that, because I told him the same thing, and it told me that when you forgive person, forgive wholeheartedly. And then I started to, and it's more liberating. And because you never know who's going to be there. Like, for example, he turned out to be my worst enemy and my very, very best friend. He's taking care of me right now, and he knows that I'm sick. But the other people will find it odd, but for us, it's beyond that, because we had a different bond for 20 years. And I think it will be a good start if you do that also before the holidays. It comes to holiday, you don't have to be literally alone, and you can guys start to patch things up and then make things different. So I love this one. This really, really hit my heart deeply. Everything that you have written in here can puncture. Beautiful, Sky. And comment.
Thank you, Bella.
And I forgive you, darling. I love you, Sky.
I'm not saying anything bad. I just miss you. Eating everybody's brains.
I miss you too.
Come on now, he says.
Yeah.
Is it really
When Jaffa says, "Come on now," I could hear his voice in my head. Come on now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, there's certain people I can just always hear in my head. If I am reading a poem from Wayne, I hear Wayne's voice in my head.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can hear Bella's voice in my head. Sometimes I can hear Sky's voice in my head.
Yep.
Depending on the words, you just automatically, your brain puts the person's voice in your head.
Yep.
Funny how that works.
I knew. Whenever Wayne read, I remember this cartoon character that I loved the most. Was that the one that The one that talks fast too? The cartoon? I forgot. I'm gonna remember the name, but I love Wayne.
I don't know. Foghorn Leghorn talked fast.
Yeah.
You guys are Udi, Udi. that that cartoon character that stutters and do that.
Foghorn,
If
did
you
he
place
stutter?
it.
Foghorn
No,
would
no,
say,
no, no.
I'll say, pay attention, boy,
Yeah,
pay attention, boy.
I love Wayne. He
I
just
count my
makes me
feathers
laugh.
just for the occasion. No matter.
Where are we going?
Well, I ran a contest for tonight's show. So this is my gold winner. Would you like Zappa to read it for us?
Sure. Zappa, would you read Right Blue Seven's poem?
Things that make you go, Oh, it's by Right Blue. Yes. I'd be honored. This one's entitled Christmas. It's early December and I cannot wait. I'm longing for Christmas. I think that it's great. I may be adult and well past my prime, but always at Christmas I have a good time. The searching for presents may be a pain, and the joy of wrapping is hard to explain. But you feel really great with this task complete. Satisfaction allows you a small liquid treat. I had to swallow on that. The next thing is buying and dressing the tree and decking the house with Christmas holly. Bright garlands you fix to seal on the wall. And you send Christmas cards to one and to all. Christmas lights are a must both outside and in. They show to the world the warmth from within. Wreaths on the door and mistletoe high offer a welcome as neighbors pass by. Christmas Eve is the time for carols and song. To church at midnight we all go along to give God our thanks for the season of fun when we all celebrate the birth of His Son. Christmas Day dawns and excitement is high. We open our presents, but how time does fly. Lunch comes too soon with turkey and pud, and we all eat too much, but boy, it tastes good. In the evening, friends come. It's now party time. We're all feeling merry from spirits and wine. We wear paper hats from the crackers we pull, and we have a good time despite feeling full. When Boxing Day dawns, we all need a rest. With rich food and drink, we're not at our best. The lunch we eat cold and we brave the fresh air. The evening is great, but we vow to take care. We laugh and we play the loudest board game. The losers are always the ones to complain. But when night arrives, we are satisfied. That Christmas has been success once again for John Thorne.
Awesome read as always.
Yeah.
You amaze me with your reading, Zappa. It's like you've read this poem 300 times and know it by heart the way you read it. So thank you for that. And since you read it, you get to comment first.
Oh, well, I live vicariously through all these things, except for the drinking, which I don't do anymore, and the boxing, of course. I think, of course, around these parts, it's football, man. It's football. Go Gators. I loved it. I really did. From the very beginning, the way it's spaced out. It's almost like it's done an outline form before I believe even wrote it, But my favorite part, and I just I used to do this with my kids. I like the part of it where Christmas lights are a must both outside and in. They show to the world the warmth from within. Now, not so much about showing the world, but the Christmas lights are a must both outside and in. Oh my God, that was such a fiasco. Of course, I was older because I never really got to experience it, when I was younger. But with my kiddos and stuff, I'd be dangling off the sides of under the eaves outside the house, praying to God I don't fall down and break my body and all that other stuff. Putting Christmas lights up, going and bitching about it the whole time. Going, ooh, that looks good. That looks good for my house. Wait a second, I am at my house. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poem. Great job.
I agree. He expresses pretty much everything that's truly wonderful about Christmas and in the beautiful holiday season. I think this is an awesome write. And Zappia brought to mind when my son was younger and we lived in the old house, and I used to decorate that too with lights all the way up at the top peak, hanging those icicles, worrying the same thing. But it made me think of the one year when I screwed up because I got one of those timers that could tell when it got dark out, and it would turn the lights on automatically for like a period of 8 hours and then turn them off. Well, I had the sensor was facing right at one of the Christmas lights, and I didn't know it. And we came home that night, and the lights on the house were going on and turning off, and going on and turning off. And I'm like going, what the hell? What is wrong?
Oh, God.
But yeah, I agree. This is a beautiful poem by Right Blue. And thank you for reading it, Zappa. What'd you think, hon?
Yeah. I second with everything you said. And I will start off with saying that by everything you read. You always bring it with such a passionate feel. And I always appreciate that, how you read the rights that you have written or read in other people's rights. You bring such beautiful passion to the words. But the words itself as well, this is why I gave gold to him, because they had, as I told him, cheers, this heartwarming right. Because it can easily bring back so many memories for many of us. And I know my more happier Christmases were when I was an adult and I became a mother. And those are the memories that I always reflect on, is when I started my own family, because so much of what he said, because we used to do the Christmas crackers as well. On Christmas Eve, we'd have our Christmas Eve dinner, and we'd do the Christmas crackers, and we'd open up just one present on Christmas Eve. And, yeah, the traditions we create with the family, with the fun, the games, the laughter, it's all stuff to always look back on with a smile. It's a beautiful right.
Yeah. Sky, you going to tell us your fortune on air or in the chat room?
I was gonna say it on air. If you want to. And, I was gonna say it in the chat room, not on air. Say that backwards, but I guess I will. That it's not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is you have to use it well. That's my fortune.
Was that in a cookie or in the newspaper?
It was a cookie. Somebody might have crap ideas right now. I thought
that reminded me of a Christmas card. Albert Einstein is the Christmas card, and he said, "I know two intelligent minds think alike."
Yeah, and
you open it up, and it's your butt itch too.
This was. I see why this won gold, because it is absolutely it is all encompassing. I mean, it doesn't miss a mark. It goes down to all the things that from the wrappings and to what it truly means in your soul, and I really liked that about it. The part that I liked most, there was so much details, which I really liked, and there was so much love, and you can tell how much it means to them just through the lines themselves. You can tell how much it's a part of them and how much they appreciate it. But the part that connected to me a lot was the, I can't find it, but the board games part, because I know that every Thanksgiving, I know this isn't about Thanksgiving, but on Thanksgiving, I spend every Thanksgiving with my godchildren and their parents, because we lived together for I don't know, many years, over 10 years. We lived together, so it was like having Thanksgiving at my own house. But every year we buckle down and no electronics, even though the kids are crawling out of their skin, but no electronics, and we play board games all day. And even the adults are banned from besides their cell phones, but they're banned from electronics, no video games, and we just play board games, and it's really fun, and it's good to have that quality time. So I really liked the mention of that in this poem as well. There it is. It's right at the end. We laugh and we play the latest board game. The losers are always the ones that complain. Great rhyming, by the way. There was also one other great rhyme that I really liked was the pud instead of the pudding.
Yeah.
They wrote the pud, and pud, and
and
all wouldn't eat too much to really taste good. I thought that was brilliant, clever, and creative. Really well done. And comment.
Yeah, that would make me think of, I think it was Laverne and Shirley, if anybody remembers that show. And they said grace the one time, and Laverne didn't know how to say grace, so she just said, God is great, God is good, thank you, God, for all this food.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're the dreidels. I love that show.
Yeah,
I never watched too much of that show myself, but a client I have absolutely loves that show, so I do see a lot of it at work.
It was a good show. They don't make TV like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bella, what did you think of the poem?
Congratulations on winning gold. And by the way, white blue. And the poem, it is everything is in there already, you know. And my family and I, we spend our Christmas differently. Like we prepare food ahead of time because especially tamales, it's hard to really cook it. So my mother would prepare it for a very long time, and then I remember even though I don't eat shrimp, we have to have boiled shrimp on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like steamed one, but then they do something, and it's exhausting. But the price after, that one is the event after is priceless because you say your grace, and like with you guys, Kay and Stefan, we are only allowed to open one gift that night, Christmas Eve, and then at exactly 12, we have to be in front of the table to eat together after we pray, and then after that, we go back to sleep. So tomorrow we can do the things, gift opening, and then we can say our thanks. It's like the second Thanksgiving for us, and then that's when we gather around and then do a lot of things as a family. That's how we celebrate. And that's what I like about the poem that he presented because in every family you will see that they have this kind of pattern on how they celebrate. It always circle around family, and that's a good thing. I love it. Well, when I talk about family, it doesn't have to be, your immediate one. You don't want your blood family. It doesn't have to be that. But the ones that you connect with, and that is more important. Congratulations again. Love this.
Excellent comments all around. And thank you for sharing all that with us, sister. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, so many of us, we have our own traditions, and they're traditions that mean the most to us. And that's what counts at the end of the day, because we all celebrate differently. And it's always good to embrace all the differences and uniqueness in everybody's traditions.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yep. Food circle around the family. That's why we're huge.
Yeah. Okay. This is the silver winner. I was wondering if you could read that.
I figured I was probably going to read it. From Bluesman.
Yeah.
It's called A Norman Rockwell Christmas. A cheerful, warming glow danced across the room as the fire brightly burned to chase away the gloom. Festively adorned in color, the mantle red and green, on both sides of hearth hung stockings filled with dreams. Crimson and canary poinsettias in full bloom filled in every empty space of this cheerfully colored room. Majestic spruce fully dressed, adornments oh so fair. The familiar scent of Christmas, fresh evergreen filled the air. Outside the picture window, behind the family tree, snow was falling all around as children screamed with glee. Holly sprigs and pinecone wreaths hung from every door, and candy canes on garland chains hung from treetop to the floor. Wrapping paper and ribbons concealed the hidden joys, crossed off of a wish list of good little girls and boys. Christmas carolers singing had just left the door. Mom and Dad carried the little ones to their beds on the second floor. Tucking them in with a cheerful grin and a loving peck on the cheek. If there's noise on the roof that sounds like a hoof, stay in your beds and don't you peek. Yes, Mommy and Daddy, we won't make a noise. We even left cookies and milk for when Santa brings the toys. They closed the door behind them and held each other tight. She said, meet me under the mistletoe, and we'll exchange our gifts tonight. They ate the milk and cookies from the table by the tree, a convincing sign that Santa was here for the little ones to see. Up the steps to the bedroom they climbed hand in hand, another successful Christmas, as always lovingly planned. And poem. Went out from the lawn, there arose such a clatter. That's what it made me think of, anyway. This really made me think of the night before Christmas. Only, just a different way told. But I like the rendition. It was a wonderful rendition of a Norman Rockwell scene. It paints a wonderful picture of a perfect Christmas Eve to me, and I really, really enjoyed reading this. What did you think, hon?
Yeah, I've always loved the portraits of Norman Rockwell because they always center on family and love and togetherness. And his paintings, they always created such nostalgic, warm, fuzzy feelings within one, because just looking at them can easily make you think back to your own remembrances. And this ride in itself is very beautiful because, it does touch on, Christmas and the remembrances. And, I love rides of nostalgia because if you're in the right mindset, you'll stay in the warm, fuzzy feelings, and that will be what keeps you happy through the day. And sometimes those warm, fuzzy memories are what helps to make the holiday season a little bit more cheerful because, as I said before, it's always changing, and you've got to be able to accept the changes that come, but also embrace the memories. We'll find a new ways to celebrate. So, yeah, this is a very beautiful rite.
What do you think, Bella?
I'm looking at the ribbons they got there. Man, that's a lot of ribbons. And
Yeah.
I can, yes, that's a lot. It's colorful already. It's like Christmas color, silver, green, and gold, and bronze too. And I can see why, because the flow of this poem is amazing, and you can smile while listening and or while reading to the poem. What I like the most is when the person said, I like Christmas carols, by the way. Um, I request whenever there is someone like would ask if they can carol, and I would request a song from them. If they can sing it, then they would sing it, and I would really, really appreciate that thought. When this one, where is that mistletoe thingy? They closed the door behind them and held each other tight. She said, "Meet me under the mistletoe, and we'll exchange our gifts tonight." And that one is just simply um, coming for me because it's the one part of the thing that I will not really miss or throw away, the mistletoe. It means a lot for me. And thank you for this and congratulations. You have a lot of ribbon and I can see why. It's the stuff.
Cinnamon Sky, what did you think?
Yeah, so I really like Bluesman. I've really had the honor of reading him for many years now, and he always brings it. I really, really enjoyed this one. I really loved the holly springs and pine cone wreaths hung from every door, the candy canes of garland chains. I mean, let's just stop and appreciate that inner rhyme right there, because not only, I mean, it's just brilliant, but the inner line rhyme was just amazing. Hung from treetop to floor. I just really, really, the skill in the rhyming, the inner line rhyming, and encompassing all those things that you love about Christmas, especially the trees. I'm a tree person, I guess. So I really, really loved how he put in the evergreens and how we weaved in those mistletoes and the candy cane garland chains. It's one of my new favorite lines. But it melted my heart. It was beautiful writing, and again, you could feel a sentiment and the care that he took in writing this. And there was one other part I really liked, and it was I can't find it, but it was about bringing the kids up to their beds and tucking them in and pecking them with a kiss. And I just thought that was it just warmed my heart. Really well done. End comment.
Okay. Beautiful comments. Because, these last two were wonderful, right? What I'm going to do next is I'm going to drop the bronze down, and I'm going to read that. And then after that, I'll have Bella read Rick's, and then I'll have Sky read Phil the Poet. Okay. And you open it up on your phone.
I will open it up.
So I can see what I'm reading.
There it is.
Okay. Okay. This is by T. Perry, and it is called The Death of Christmas. Someone stole Father Christmas, strung him up and stole his sack, shaved his beard off, freed the reindeer, ripped the tunic off his back, left him trussed up in the cellar for mince pie and a drink. Seems the vagabond who stole him had 2 eyes as black as ink. This year death shall hold the mantle of the season of goodwill. Yes, his plan to kill the children he's now happy to reveal. He would slice each mortal, coil they would never breathe again. Then they'd share his meager dwellings and forever would remain. Christmas Eve soon came a calling in the kitchen by the door. Death was feeling indecisive and a little bit unsure. Had a hearty, empty breakfast that consisted of fresh air. Said the sound of children's laughter ought to cure me of despair. Death dressed up for the occasion in a cowl of crimson red, with a sprig of dying mistletoe he stapled to his head. In the recess of his tunic, dry bones rattled into place. As he glued a beard of dead hair to the contours of his face, to appease his festive leanings, tried a hearty ho, 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 he would have a stash of children, soon the sack would overflow. This benevolent bamboozler sought to mount his trusty steed, tore his pants and scraped his knuckles, and his bones began to bleed. Thundering above the rooftops, Death then staggered into sight. With an allergy to felines and a phobia of heights, in the bedroom, children sleeping, each unwilling volunteers. Heard a clatter on the landing, thought that Santa would appear. By the shadow from the lantern, they could see the slender form of an anorexic Santa that was neither nice or warm. They could hear those dry bones rattle and were fearing for their lives. When the death of Christmas entered and began to swing his scythe. Soon his sack was overflowing and the task was truly done. He would know of joy and happiness and gaiety and fun, and then head into darkness, death, and set a course for home, and would now hear happy voices and no longer be alone. Back in death's bed-wrangled castle where the minutes last for years, all the children started wailing and reducing death to tears. I just want happy laughter and a family of my own, thought the comfort of belonging would have eased my aching bones. And thrice he re-examined all the error of his ways, and then freed old Father Christmas, who set forth upon his way. Seems the little girls and boys, they didn't suffer any strife. For this year the good St. Nicholas bestowed the gift of life. End poem. And his Anne said, he wrote this while tipping his hat to Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas and also Terry Pratchett's Death. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. You read it, so you comment first.
Yeah, I'm a big I'm a big fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas. To anybody who's heard me say this before, I'm a big child at heart because my house is very animated as well. I actually have a lot of the stuffed animal characters from Nightmare Before Christmas. Actually, right now, as I am talking, I am looking at Oogie Boogie, the guy who was made with the gunny sack who had bugs for his body.
My bugs, my bugs.
Yeah, because that movie is like a must for me for the holiday season as far as watching. I love it. I love the characters. I identify with Jack and Sally because in certain ways I feel you and I are Jack and Sally. But I liked how he took the movie and spun his own little tale and also bringing the humor. When he talked about being allergic to felines, that made me think of myself because even though I have cats, I actually am allergic to cats. I'm allergic to both dog and cat dander, but I refuse to have a house without animals, so I suffer silently. I thought this was an awesome write all around. It was a brilliant nod to The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, and because we said what you said, I will say, and I, Stephen, the Pumpkin King,
Funny.
will comment now. I like this a lot too. I thought it was very cool, and it was very, very dark in the beginning. It actually had shades of Krampus for me in my head.
Yeah.
While I do like the Nightmare Before Christmas too, I also enjoy the Legend of Krampus. But I thought Death, much like Scrooge, repents in the end and allows Saint Nick to save the day, just like Jack did in the Nightmare Before Christmas. I love this. I like the imagery he used. Very, very dark, but then joyful at the end. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think, Sky?
I loved this. I thought it was like one of the best Christmas rites that I ever read. And I know it's dark, so I have a twisted mind. But I just thought it was so brilliant. Really, my comment actually says brilliant 3 times because it needs 3 of them. But it was creative. It was going to give me nightmares about Santa Claus, that's for sure. I could definitely see those 2 influences, but it was like still very, very original. I could see, when you read it, I didn't put those images in my head. Those reflective images weren't there. But then when I read the author's notes, I said, "Oh, I see where the thin bone. I could see where those might be played into inspiration." But I think many things are. It's hard not to be inspired by brilliant things. And again, I am also a big fan of Nightmare Before Christmas. But when you take something that you love and that you're inspired by, and you spin it into something so original and something like this, that's a wonderful artist. I like the part with the stuffing the children's in the bag. That was just creepy, dark. But I love it. Excellent piece. And comment.
And comment. And Bella, what did you think?
I like the last spot. That's the only thing I like about it. I like the dark ones, but I cannot relate to them. I remember the one that you said, sister, the Nightmare Before Christmas. And I had my last Christmas with my ex-husband, and we had to attend that. He's crazy as what do you call this one? Party. And then he got mad at me because I appeared a little bit dressed up. So I bought the pants just like Jack Skellington. But I wear white shirt. Yeah, I wanted that pants. And then he said, "This is not a Halloween party, it's Christmas." And I said, "Well, I want to be Jack. So it's either you are going to attend it with me or not." And he can't he can't leave me because I will be entertaining the women. And then he got so pissed. He wanted me to change, and I said, "No, I'm gonna be wearing this." So and then it was an influence for my that one. That one I love. The one, the picture. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to the last part when he said, since little girls and boys they didn't suffer any strife, for this year the good Saint Nicholas bestowed the gift of life. I don't know. It sounds creepy, but I find it very beautiful too. I think it's nice. I really do think it's nice. It's something different. Something different. It's not mushy one. It's something that you can really enjoy reading and reading. And look at the badges. You already have two ones, and I think he needs more, one more or two more, and then he'll be good with it, and he will be getting it.
Awesome. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that one. Is that
Yeah.
the?
I thought it
Is
was.
that
Yeah.
the? Is that
That's the Oogie
the
Boogie.
Oogie Boogie? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
let's
Yep.
look about. Yeah, let's look at Bella. I need you to look past the Oogie Boogie for a moment and talk about the Christmas tree being up on November 3rd. What are you doing right now?
You know
Oh,
what's funny?
yeah? Oh, that's too much for me.
You know what's funny? My niece
Our trees,
is that
our trees stay up year
my
round,
niece.
and we decorate them according to season.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't even handle that. My godchildren would just love that. They wouldn't let me take my tree down last Christmas. It was up till like March, and I'm like, this thing's coming down. Auntie's had enough.
Yeah. Yeah. In
every
February
time
it
they
gets hard.
came over to visit, they were like, just one more week, just one more week, and I'm like, no, the one more week's over.
In February it gets hearts for Valentine's Day. In March it gets shamrocks for St. Patrick's Day. Most of the summer it's red, white, and blue.
That's
No,
cute.
it's beautiful that way, right? I like the table wreath. I have that all year round. So my mother hates it because I just change everything. I when it's Christmas, I put a lot of balls in it, and then the bell, and then after that, after Christmas, I will take out everything and then put flowers in it. And I said, well, it's beautiful, right? So you can just enjoy
Yeah.
it. And my mom says, take it out because it's already done. And I said, no, put it there because you put different things in it, like candles and then flowers and crystal balls. I like it. I think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sister, you ready to read Rick's?
Yeah.
I didn't know Rick has the holiday poem.
Well, it is sort of.
Well, no, it is.
I know it is.
Yeah, it makes me think of New Year.
Really? I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
read. Thank you very much. Okay, so this one I hope I will not stumble. So, Truncated Tribute by Rick H. Two in a lover's second, sheltering in the smoke of the same cigarette, tucked one into the other against a probing winter wind, framed against the street and bar that spits out light and Christmas in contortions of the senses. God love the smokers and their truncations as the present relax and the future tenses. And pooh.
Yeah. What'd you think of it, sister?
This one has to, you really have to read it to you know what's good about Rick, that this one I'm gonna blow Rick's cover. I deciphered them already. Um yeah, the last time I commented on his work and I told them something and they said no. Actually this one is about the stairs and so on, the old hotel. And I remember before that too. I did it again, and then he explained me. And now my point is, he sees little things, and he will write grand about it. And then you will never know unless he will explain it to you what he saw. Maybe in this spot, he just saw two persons smoking as he passed by. and the night that I exhausted from work and so on. But regardless of what he saw that time, 11 months ago, I still enjoy this because it will not get you in just one sitting and then one reading. You have to read him deeply and bug him. I bug him so I don't have to think. Rick, tell me what it is. And then he will give it away. But I love them. I love this one. And I'll give you a decent one once I bug you, after I bug you.
I agree. The funny thing is there was a poem that he wrote, I think about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I thought it was so deep, and I made this extra long comment about it, and he said, his reply was, "Thank you, brother. I was just stuck out in the hallway because I locked myself out of my apartment or something. And this is what I saw."
I know. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard because I'm the same way.
But I do like this too because I think the imagery of two people, probably lovers, I would say, yeah, sharing a cigarette on a cold Christmas day, huddled together to keep warm. That's what it made me think of. At least I'm wondering if that's probably what he saw, just like you just said. But yeah, his artistic way of putting things just make it so you can get so much more out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is an excellent brevity. What did you think, hon?
Yeah, with a lot of rights, there's a lot of different ways to see it because with few words I can easily see the scene in my mind, and it takes me back to youth because when we were younger, when we were a young couple, and even before we were a couple and we were with other people, it just takes me back to my youth of just having those moments of being close together because I do have my own holiday memories of romance with one person from my teenage years, but then you through the years as well. So it paints the scene very well for me. But it also kind of reminds me of New Year's as well, leaning in together. And I don't know, I'm probably off, but the anticipation and anxiety of that kiss. Leaning in together because it does create the intimacy. Even if you're just trying to stay, huddled to stay warm and away from the rain, it does create its own intimacy right there.
Yeah.
So you better like that person.
Yeah. And here he probably just saw two construction workers sharing a cigarette.
Probably. I don't know. Are you afraid to I'm afraid to give a long ass comment because he's gonna end up saying, this one I wrote about and that would it happens a lot.
What did you think, Sky?
I thought this was excellent. And the thing about writing about something so simple, if that was the case, to be able to take something so simple, again, if that was the case, and to write about such a small moment and to build it into something like this is what makes it poetry. And I see that a lot about Rick. He takes very small moments and he describes them. And when he does that, it's just a brilliant way to write. It's just taking the smallest thing as someone, sharing a cigarette or someone taking someone's hands out of the car, to help them to get out of the car. It's those small things like that. It's like photographs of moments and words, and really brilliant way to write. But I think I do see Kay's point a little bit with the aftermath of Christmas with the future tenses. So I do see that. I do see where Casey is at. Brilliant as always. End comment.
Awesome. And Sky, would you be so kind as to read Phil the Poet for us?
I will. The Nightmare That Is Christmas by Phil the Poet. Thank God Christmas comes once a year, the most stressful holiday in the world. diabetic overload, cheap cans of beer, watching the whole event unfurl, buying presents that no one likes, return to sender the next year after. The only time that anybody writes, all filled with lies and fake laughter, embarrassing yourself in a festive jumper, the so-called official clothing for Christmas. I'm sure someone made a fashion blunder, but don't worry, this will soon come to pass. Been brainwashed since October to buy the latest iPhone, tablet, or iPad. This makes me want to break down and cry. How it's all changed since I was a lad. Christmas can truly be a nightmare, especially when it's just for one day. Call me Scrooge, I really don't care. This year, I'll lock myself away. End poem.
Excellent read, and since you read it, you get to comment first.
I hope Phil forgives me, but when's the best time to wear a striped sweater? All the time. Oh, it almost broke my heart to talk bad about the sweaters. I thought this was sorry, Phil. I really did love this, though. I really I think it talks about a lot of issues that Christmas does have. Christmas is a lot of times focused on material things and focused on the diabetic overload. It's always keep cans of beer. It can be like an event, and it can be very, very stressful. And people buying things they don't necessarily need, and people just focusing on that instead of each other. And I can definitely see, Black Friday, I don't go out on that day, and that's not even Christmas. It's the day of Thanksgiving. But it's all people, things that are leading up to Christmas, and those gifts. And I think it's very easily taken for, like what he said, letters that no one writes filled with laughter. People seeing each other once a year just to mark the calendar instead of keeping in touch with them all year long. Kind of like the whole Facebook thing where you write happy birthday to somebody you haven't talked to in a year, but every year you're like, happy birthday. So I can definitely see where his angst is in this. And I thought it was well presented, and I liked the little bit of humor that was, real, that was true, with that call me Scrooge, I really don't care. It was a little bit of humorous, but there were a lot of true undertones in it. But really well done. Except I really love sweaters.
Yeah. I need to get me one of those goofy Christmas sweaters. I need one, but I don't have one yet. But yeah, I agree that where he says Christmas isn't what it used to be. It used to be, I don't know, it seemed like more of the family was together. Of course, so many of them have passed away since then, but they always seem to be bigger, more family orientated than they are now. Mm-hmm. But now, actually, with us, it's in a way it's better because we just focus on each other. We don't really focus much on the material things. Mm-hmm. And even at my mother's house now, we don't buy gifts anymore. It's all homemade gifts. Mm-hmm. So it seems to come more from the heart. Unfortunately, I still stick with the diabetic thing because I make a loaf of pumpkin bread for everybody. That's my Christmas present to everybody in the family every year is a loaf of pumpkin bread. Yeah. So that's a little sugary, but still, it's something I made. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree that, sometimes it gets a little too overly commercial. And Sky, that Black Friday thing, oh my God, does that touch a nerve with me, especially now since Black Friday starts on Thursday, and they say it in the commercial too, starts on Thursday, and I'll yell at the TV, that's not Thursday, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that makes me so mad.
there's also the Monday after Cyber Monday.
Yeah. It's just all too commercialized anymore, and it needs to get back to the basics. It needs to get back to happy days. Every place is closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Day. Yeah. That's the way it used to be.
My work can't close on Thanksgiving.
Well, you know what I mean. Walmart shouldn't be open.
That would be bad, Stephen.
Yes, I understand that. I know certain places have to be going, but I'm talking about like Walmart or grocery stores. They shouldn't be open. I think I remember the gas stations were closed on Christmas Day when I was a kid, so you better make sure you got gas on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing about that is that last it had to be, Stephen. You're gonna love this, and I'll be really quick. But a couple of years ago, there was a really bad ice storm. We have really bad ice storms where I live. There's not a lot of natural disasters, but where I live, we have what we call ice storms, and they freeze all the lines, and no one has power, and everybody's out, and the trees get knocked down, and everything, and it's really bad. And we were in a state of emergency where we couldn't even deal with it ourselves. We had to have many bordering states come into our state to help us get power back. And I had to work. I was supposed to have it off. I worked day before Thanksgiving, and the power went out. So, and the roads were so bad, I couldn't go home. And so I had to sleep there at my work on Thanksgiving Eve. And then on Thanksgiving, I couldn't go home because I had no gas in my car, and nothing was open. Not because it was Thanksgiving, but because the outages were so bad that there was literally no one had power. Everything was out, and I had to stay at my friend's house that lived near my work, and I couldn't even go home for Thanksgiving. I was really angry.
Yeah, that would be a bummer not to be able to go home for Thanksgiving. I know that.
Because the gas station was closed. That Chevron.
Because the Chevron was closed. Damn Chevron. Should have had a generator. What'd you think of Phil's poem, hon?
I have to agree with what Sky said because we have bad ice storms, but for us, they happen in March. All of a sudden, right before spring comes, Mother Nature says, hold on, I want a little bit more of winter. Because we had the one year a very bad ice storm where it knocked power out, trees down. We were without power for 3 days, and it was so freaking cold. We had candles lit around our house. We're bundled up with coats and all these different layers of clothing just to stay warm.
It's the first time I ever went to bed in a winter jacket and snow pants.
Yeah, it was so cold. Most of where we lived, it was a blackout, so we just were kind of screwed and just trying to figure out how to get through those days until everything was restored.
Yeah.
But
the only advantage of it being cold out is we just put all our food outside in the cooler.
Well, yeah, 'cause there's still snow and ice everywhere, so yeah. But, with what Sky said, it reminds me, you remember when we were dating, that one Thanksgiving that was so bad? We were coming home from my holiday, the place I worked at, the holiday party. We were trying to get to my mother's house, but we couldn't because the snow was so bad, remember?
Yeah.
We had to just turn the other way. So that Thanksgiving, I did not celebrate Thanksgiving with my mother at her house because the weather would not permit it. And where we lived at the time, the weather was always doing that, where it would snow people in, where sometimes even trying to celebrate a holiday would be impossible.
It was called the Snow Belt, town of Chardon.
Yeah.
In the Snow Belt, they call it.
Yeah, Ohio has its own little section called the Snow Belt, and they seem to get hammered a little bit more than the rest.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, we did live in the Snow Belt, and we felt the repercussions every winter. But
a few days I missed work because I couldn't get out of the door.
I know, it's so bad. But, with what Sky said, I totally agree with that. And what Phil's right as well. This is pretty cool because I think that a lot of people in their own way could say bah humbug. I know when I was younger, I used to do Christmas up a lot. And that was probably because we had a young child. But through the years, we've gone to simplicity where it is homemade. I do a lot of things. I make my own things for family. You make your own things. And the funny thing is, there are things that everybody likes because there's certain things that James wants. And if I don't do it, he's like, you didn't do that?
Yeah.
So I have to make sure every year that I have this. So it's kind of nice that the family, they can embrace and appreciate the simplicity and homemade more so than
the homemade crunch bars that you make.
Yeah.
And the homemade chocolate covered potato chips.
That's you. James don't care for that. Yeah.
All right. Who's up?
What was it? The whole thing.
Oh, that's right. Bella, what did you think of Phil's? Sorry. Caught up in conversation.
Yeah.
It's a good sharing, right? I like sharing what's going on during Christmas, and I my mom and my dad hated it when I am holding a phone, for especially there's special occasions, and I would I have this bad habit, I preach, but I don't exercise. I I tell my nieces and my nephew that no gadgets, no gadgets, please. And then now they would say, but how come you? And I said, well, I'm old. Don't copy me. I'm bad. And I would say that. And then I would have that beside me. But then my mom would give me that eye thing. And I'm scared of that eye thing because it's really, really like an ugo one. And then I would hide it beneath me. And I think it's wonderful. Like when we were young, it's different. Christmas is different. What I like about my mom's tradition is they let little children fall in line, and then they have this red small pocket envelope, and it will be handed over to the little ones, and then it has money in it depending on your age. So what I would do is I would fall in line too, and then when it comes to me, my mom would always say, "You're old enough," and then I said, "No, no, I'm your daughter, the only daughter." So I'll be falling in line. So I will get one, and I'll be really, really happy with it. Last time she gave me a very, very nice lesson. I fell in line, and then she gave me $5. And I said, how come that little one got more than I? And then she said, well, you're old enough, and then that $5 will make you do something. And I said, what can I do with it? And I was like looking at it. Everyone was like smiling and laughing, and I said, I'll just put it as a lucky one. So I still have it until now, and I don't spend that
Yeah.
$5 regard no matter. Yes, I still have it in my wallet, and it still have that red envelope. And then I don't know, but this year it will be my turn to give away the little one some. So I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, but I love it. And then I have this thing. Don't tell anyone, okay? I have this thing that they always give me every Christmas, which is these socks, Christmas socks, and then I call it Christmas socks because it's stripes. The last one that I got is red and white. I wonder what am I going to get this time. So I have already the colors, the blue and white, the yellow and white, and the red and white, and they make me wear them. But I love feels too, and it's something that it's a reverse psychology, and that's what I love about it. And I hope everybody can go back again to that times that like you, brother. I love how you celebrate your Christmas with your family. Everything you said is a DIY, or everything has to be made, not bought, because that is a part of the spirit of Christmas, and that tradition is so beautiful. I like this, Phil.
Awesome. Sister, you got $5 I could borrow?
No, not this one. That's my Chevron emergency money.
Chevron emergency. Oh my god.
Oh my, this is a long one.
Yeah, it's okay if you can do that.
I will read this one from Arbab. It is called A Spiritual Christmas. All the Christmas presents in the world mean nothing without the presence of Christ. Faith is salt and peppered through everything during Christmas. The spirit of love, a time when the love of God and the love of our fellow men should prevail over all hatred and bitterness. When our thoughts and deeds and the spirit of our lives manifest in the presence of God. Jesus was God and man in one person. That God and man might be happy together again. Christmas waves a magic wand over this world, and behold, everything is softer and more beautiful. The fact that Christ came to die for the sins of men is the heart of Christmas. Peace with God, peace with others, and peace in your own heart. God goes to the simple shepherds who have time to hear him. Make your heart an altar of Christ's love. Govern all the actions of your life with the honesty and fearlessness of Jesus Christ. Overcome the sorrow-producing temptations of the senses by the self-control of Jesus Christ and by the developing of a taste for all good things. Exchange spiritual gifts by giving your outstanding good qualities to others who need them. Receive the ennobling soul qualities of those who are great and who love you for your own good. Blessed are those who see Christmas through the eyes of a child. Jesus is our hope for peace on earth. May his joy and love fill you overflowing. May Jesus always be your joy, your hope, your song. May your heart and home be filled with the true spirit of Christmas. May the peace of joy in Christmas be with you today and throughout the new year, wishing you the gift of faith, the blessing of hope, and the peace of his love at Christmas and always. End poem. And I thought this was great, actually. I mean, you know, Kay and I always talk about how we're not overly religious. Mm-hmm. We don't do the church thing all the time like we used to, but we do believe, but we also don't push our beliefs on anybody else. And I like the fact that he brought this, because a lot of people tend to forget that, you know, how some people say the reason for the season. And that's one of the things I always say when we're watching our Hallmark movies, is they never seem to mention the fact that, you know, Jesus is the reason for the season. And every now and then they finally do, and I'm like, hey, there we go. But yeah, I like this a lot. Arbab's really been expanding his talents lately, and at least that I've seen. And I really like this. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, you know, I have to agree with you, because the words, they are very inspiring and full of truth. And I always do believe that if you have faith, that's fine, as we all do believe in what we do. But I also believe that you should not try to influence others as to your beliefs, as we all are unique in our own way. We should all just embrace the uniqueness that we do have while embracing the holidays. This is a beautiful rite all around, because you talk about Christmas and then the spiritual aspect. You know, this is just a lovely rite all around that reminds us of what the holiday season is about.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think, Sky?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know I was off mute. Okay. I think I wasn't doing anything weird. I really like this piece. I do enjoy his writing. He enters my contest quite a bit, so I do get to hear him a little bit. I thought it really spoke of his faith well. I thought you could read within the lines his emotions and how much it means to him. I really liked the part about the children's eyes, because children do see things very differently. They are unbiased and you know, for the most part, you know, very white, like blank slates, and seeing most things for the first time. So I really liked that he had put that childlike eyes piece in there. It's a really beautiful piece. And
awesome. And comment. Who's up?
Well, I'm going to put Sky's second one in.
Okay.
Before she tucks out.
Excuse me.
And then you and I are going to finish up the HM.
All right. I want to try to make sure we do Becky's during regular time, so if she's listening, she can hear it.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll do that after Sky's. All right, Sky, bring us your second. It's a very interesting picture.
I just threw it in there for fun. I thought you guys would get a laugh. This was for another one of Sarah's Christmas memes one year she did. She's been doing them for like 5 years now, so I have a lot of weird Christmas rights. So this is Chris Tinkle. Obviously, the word is K. I mean, the letter is K. If you think I'm knitting knockoff tales of threading kelp kite strings, kept in kangaroo red breeches, kindly keep your opinions to yourself. For when I came down the stairs to see Kringle killing karaoke, knelt on knees with kettle and kilt, it gave a whole new meaning to the mistletoe song. You can't kick the kink out of old Saint Nick. And
so see, Santa really does like the naughty girls.
Oh my God. He does.
Are you going to delete this before I get a chance to comment?
No.
No, I like this. I like this a lot. Can't kick the kink out of old Saint Nick. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably got some fetishes, doesn't he?
The letter was K, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, I think this is hilarious. I like this. And yeah, that's what it made me think of too. Saint Nick, he likes those naughty girls sitting on his lap.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Excellent alliteration, but hilarious. What do you think, hon?
No, yeah, I do love it because it does show that Santa, as you said, he does love the naughty ladies, but he does have a kink of his own too.
Yeah.
How about roasting a chestnut on the open fire?
I feel like we should just explain this for listeners later. Santa's wearing a thong.
Yes.
This is true.
Bent over, and instead of showing the repairman crack show, he's wearing a thong or the old whale tail, as some people call it, right?
Yeah, whale tail. If you're wearing a thong.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we have another sound clip to play before we do Becky's poem.
Oh, yeah. Well, before that, we should just say our thank yous and whatnot. That
Okay.
way, if Sky cuts out, it's you and I, and we can run the show from there.
All right, well, you want me to do it or you want to do it?
Well, let me just say, for the people that called in, just want to say thank you. Zappa, Wayne, Bella was here, Sky was here.
Sky is here.
Yeah, Sky's here. She's still here. But yes. And on the board was Heavenly Angel. And then all the people that wrote, besides the callers that shared their contributions, Right Blue, Bluesman, T. Perry, Arbab, Randall S., Keith Seaman, Patrick, California, Marvin Goldfarb, Phil the Poet, and Rick H.
Did you say Becky?
Oh, and we are going to be reading Becky next.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I don't think you said who we were in the beginning, but this has been
Stephen and Kay.
Stephen and Kay.
Oh, no, Wayne introduced us.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah. And we have shows coming up this week. The next one is on Tuesday night, a dark show. Did you want to say that real quick?
We're calling it the Mortuary of Shadows. And we're just keeping on with our tradition, and we're going with a movie called Happy Hell Night. Mm-hmm. There are quotes to write to. I did not put the trailer in the topic board because it was a little gory, so you'd have to go to YouTube and search it out if you want to take a look at it. But it's one of Kay and my favorites that we try to watch every October for Halloween, and it's an entertaining film.
Yes, it is.
A little low budget, but fun.
Yeah. And are you ready for me to play a sound clip?
All right. It's not as long as the Cheech and Chong one, but Becky's right mentions fruitcake, and it made me think of this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Now, 101 KLOL's best ever fruitcake recipe. Not only for Christmas, but all year long. Here's what you'll need. 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 4 large eggs, 1 cup dried fruit, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon baking soda, 1 tablespoon of salt, lemon juice, 1 cup brown sugar, nuts, 1 or 2 quarts of whiskey. Now, before you start, sample the whiskey to check. Good, isn't it? Now, go ahead, select a large mixing bowl, measuring cup, etc., and check the whiskey again, as it must be just right. To be sure the whiskey is of the highest quality, pour 1 level cup into a glass and drink it as fast as you can. Okay? Repeat. Now, with an electric mixer, beat 1 cup of butter into a large fluffy ball. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar and beat again. Meanwhile, make sure that the whiskey is of the finest quality. Cry another tub. Open second quart if necessary. Add 2 large legs, 2 cups fried droot, and beat till high. If droot gets stuck in beaters, just pry it loose with Drew Scriber. Sample the whiskey again. Check for Tunskiskity. Next, sift 3 cups of salt or anything. It really doesn't matter. Sample the whiskey. Sift half pint of lemon juice. Fold in chopped butter and strained nuts. Add babble spoon of brown sugar, whatever color you can find, and mix well. Grease oven and tum cake pan to 350 degrees. Now pour the whole friggin' mess into the oven and bake it. Check whiskey again and boat again.
Now I'm going to drop Becky's down.
I always like that one.
Yeah, I know. And I will read for Becky.
Okay.
Okay, this is by Becky Friend, and it is called The Fruitions of Tradition, a Sonnet. When chilled November winds begin to freeze, and gray December days turn rain to snow, my ethos shifts like white drifts in the breeze, from darksome world into a place that glows. 2 rows of casseroles, a jello mold, the children's tinseled eyes and pumpkin pie, knit sweaters edged in blinking bulbs of gold, the tails of red-beaked reindeer trained to fly. A holiday of handmade glitter mess, sticks happiness to hair and everywhere. 2 eggnog jugs made smiling mugs, fluorescence of silver bells and voices fill the air. A sweet hometown soiree, make no mistake, I just can't tolerate Aunt Kate's fruitcake and poem.
And if you read the first 3 lines of her ands, it says, my secret word is fruitcake, which I am.
Yeah.
But I really like this. I love the holiday imagery that she puts in this because the beautiful memories of family, food, and decorations. But and of course a little humor at the ending too about not being able to stand the fruitcake. But I had to share a little secret with her when I read this, and I commented, I actually like fruitcake. I know a lot of people don't, but I do.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Dawn?
Well, I've tried fruitcake. It's not bad. It's too fruity for me. I could have it maybe once a year if I want to. It's just, I don't know. We always we don't bother making it. I know Walmart sells like a small bar of it, and we buy it just for you. Yeah, it's not that I hate fruitcake. It's just too much. But all around, this makes me think back to the past. Because it takes me back to the days of construction paper, glue, and glitter. And the thing is, to this day, the glitter still is all around my house because I love glittery things. So that part never died. But then also the endless cooking. And I know for us, for the holidays, still, we start our cooking 2 days prior, so that way we can have this and that on the day of. All that, it does bring back the warm fuzzy feeling because some of it still applies. The food aspect still applies because we always have a big spread, and then we also share with others. This is a beautiful rite that definitely it brings the heart of Christmas as to what it is with family and the children and friends and the fun and laughter of it all.
Yeah. What do you think, Sky?
I thought it was a great piece. So I like the fruit cake that's like a yellow pound cake, but just the whipped cream and the fruit on top. Does that count? Is that like considered fruit cake?
Sure, why not?
So I like those ones, but he's like, sure, not really. I thought this was wonderful. It's actually making me really hungry with all this pumpkin pie talking. Oh my goodness, I really love banana cream pie too. But in all Becky's writing, she always puts so much details in it. It's like you're almost right there with her, and you're almost savoring all her words and the food in this case. But the use of poetic devices too, with the blinking bulbs of gold, and the colors, absolutely. In a darksome world, I liked how she used, not dark, but darksome. The language was just excellent as always, and I really, really enjoyed that humor, that couplet at the end with a bit of humor about the fruitcake, because there's usually always one thing that just gets underneath your skin, and I think it's realistic, because anybody can talk about how wonderful holidays are and how wonderful things are, but in truth, there's always some little bit of strife in there, and so I like how she added that in with a little bit of humor. Really well done. Comment.
Cool. Let me read the next one. I was going to see how long are you going to hang with us, Sky?
I could read the next one. I could read one. I have an
Oh, you can have Sky read this one.
Okay. Why don't you read this next one then, Sky, if you could?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, by Keith Seaman.
The Last Sign of Spirit of Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay. The last sign of the spirit of Christmas. Santa showed up early this year, caught me by surprise. Before I knew what happened, he was shot between the eyes. While I got collected and decided what to do, I heard the hooves up on the roof and knew I wasn't through. Shakily reloading to embark on my new cause, I have to kill the evidence that I killed Santa Claus. I couldn't look them in the eye. I didn't do what I must have done. So I just shot up in the air and hoped that they would run. The reindeer didn't run away. They flew away instead, which woke me from my nightmare as I sat and scratched my head. And poem. It's clever.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me think too, because there's so many times I've had some very odd nightmares, and not ones that scare you, but you wake up and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And that's what this made me think of. Because that would be a nightmare to actually accidentally kill Santa Claus. That would be, that would be bad. But you know what? Maybe Santa Claus, if he's going to try to start early, he should probably warn people to make sure that doesn't happen. What'd you think of it, Sky?
I thought it was so fun to read. I mean, even when reading it, I love reading pieces out loud because you really get the enthusiasm out of it, and I think his use of grammar, especially in the title with the the apostrophe right there, just like Spirit of Christmas. But I thought it was the details about the shakily reloading. I could just see this as if it were a scene from a movie, just kind of like shaking the gun, trying to reload and having all the shells fall into the ground. And so going to the extra mile, thinking ahead, I have to hide the evidence. I did like that bit. And then having it all in the end being a nightmare was just absolutely brilliant. Really well done.
What'd you think of it?
Make me say it every time. End comment, Stephen.
Yeah. I think this would be one hell of a dream as well, but it would be a nightmare if it was reality.
Yeah.
Talking about hiding evidence and stuff. Yeah, that's definitely a Christmas nightmare. This was unique, humorous, right? So I wanted to honor this one with getting read because this just was too awesome to not share. But yeah, it's definitely a nightmare, a dream that would make one scratch their head and wonder what the hell brought that on.
Yeah. Even if it was real, CIS would catch him.
This is true. This is true. Okay, we've got two more left.
All right. I'll read the next. Is that the plan?
Yeah, you read the next and I'll read the last.
All right.
Oh, I got to drop it. Duh.
There it is. 'Tis the Blessed Season by Patrick C.A. Or is it Patrick, California?
I don't know. I said California.
'Tis the blessed season, the one that comes along, starts earlier with little reason, and brings joy all around. 'Tis the joyous colors, silver, gold, red, and green, what unites sisters and brothers for longer than a moment. Celebration of a king, born in great humility, such a feeling it brings as we come together. 'Tis each carol and song which brings us together, the joy when we sing along to music that brings harmony. A time where children won't frown, but smile and get excited. As Christmas comes to town, they are all filled with hope. and poem. And I really like this one too. Family is important year round, but at the holidays, they seem even just a little more important. Maybe I'm not. It should be the case, but it does seem that way. You end up seeing people that you haven't seen, and like the Facebook thing with the happy birthday. But and it's kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's happy that you get to see these people that you haven't seen since the last holiday. And yeah, you should see them more often, but I guess that everybody's just too busy. I don't know, but I'm just happy that I like this one a lot. It makes me think of the family get-togethers that I used to have when I was a kid. And I'm also glad that he did bring, God into this as well, because once again, reason for the season. Excellent, right? What'd you think, hon?
Yeah, I agree with what you say. This was a lovely write because it does get forgotten about the reasons for the season, as you said. But this is a joyous write because it does bring the love and celebration of the King, celebrations of family, as it should last year long. And that reminds me of something that you said, because we are getting to that wonderful age where we start seeing only family and funerals. And then, as I tell you, I hear the same battle cry every time. We got to get together more often.
Yeah.
And then at the next funeral, we hear the same thing, and it's the same thing repeated over and over. And the only time we see these people anymore is at funerals. So it's all about making the time. But sometimes it's hard because a lot of us, we do have a very fast-paced life. And I know for us and our family, some of your family members, they still have young kids. Their jobs are very detail-oriented where they work long hours. So it's very challenging. But yeah, as time goes on, things do change, and you've got to find a way to embrace what is there. This was a beautiful write all around. I appreciate you sharing it with us, Patrick.
All right, and Sky, what do you think?
I thought this was a great piece, and as to what you guys were saying, I'm going to tell you something that it may come as a shock to you. So I want you to try to brace yourselves for a minute. I work a lot of hours. All right. I work a lot of hours. 64. 64 is like the average I do. And, usually that leaves like one day off and I have to do things. So, I agree. The time, I do like to go, and my brothers and my mom, they live like an hour away, and I don't get to see them as much as I'd like to. So it is nice to get out on the holidays, and it is, again, not the ideal, but it is very true, and sometimes not to the fault of the person. I just work a lot. I thought this was, So I think that's a great point to put out there, that sometimes it really is just because it is crazy life. But I really liked it. 'Tis the joyous colors, silver, gold, red, and green, what unites sisters and brothers for longer than a moment. And I think that was the heart of the poem, and I think that's why it's very easy to focus on, where those band of colors bring us together. And I think it can be extended to that more than family, but I think it brings a lot of people together, whether all different kinds of religion. I think just that whole time period, no matter what they're celebrating, because I know on AP, I have people that are Jewish. I have friends that are Jewish. And I have friends from India, and that have very different celebrations. But it seems during that time, no matter what what nationality, what religion they are, they seem to come together and meet, especially on AP. I see it, and they come together and they celebrate together, and they make it work, which is really interesting and really nice to see. So really well done on the piece.
Awesome.
Oh.
I won't make you say it this time.
Yeah.
We have one last poem, and it's a brevity.
Yeah. This was from my contest, and this is by Marvin Goldfarb, and it is called Astronaut Halloween. It was a Halloween party where each came in disguise. There were the Enterprise guys, the Pioneer guys, and the Apollo guys. Each expressed his feelings about the entry prize. A fight pursued and pies were thrown. The Apollo goddess threw pies at the ears, and each of the Pioneer guys had a pie in ear, to which the Apollo guys had to apologize. end poem, and he said, I thought of the mayhem of a Marx Brothers movie.
Well, I like that, but I thought the imagery was more almost like a Three Stooges kind of pie fight, because I never really saw any Marx Brothers, so that probably would have ensued if I'd have actually seen Marx Brothers. But I used to watch the Three Stooges all the time, and that's what I thought. The funny pie fights from the Three Stooges movies, and I enjoyed reading this. Thank you for sharing this. Excellent write. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I have to agree. I thought this did remind me of the Three Stooges, the fun, the laughter. Because growing up, I did watch Three Stooges in my adult life. Not so much. I can't get into it anymore. But I did see some Marx Brothers movies as well because of my mother. So the write definitely brought back some memories for me, with the things I used to watch in the past. It's a great write, Marvin. Thank you for sharing.
All right. And Sky, you get to make the last comment of the show.
Oh, that's so much pressure. I thought this was great. It might never end, Stephen. I thought this was great. The thing about this is that you look down at the copyright and you see 7 years ago, and you see this was written 7 years ago. And, I always say all good writing doesn't have a time, doesn't age. It can be brought 3, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years down the line and have the same impact and the same receiving as 7 years ago. And this is a piece like that. It's wonderful. I really liked the images. I don't know what the movie that he's talking about, but I do know the Three Stooges. But I do know comedy, and even though I don't know what he's referencing, he describes it so well where I can actually see these pies being flying, and it's a satire, and it's done well in the brevity. It's really, really done well.
Excellent. And that's our show.
I mean, end comment, end poem. I'm getting so confused. I'm like, end poem, end comment, end show. I'm not sure where we are.
End show. There you go. End show. Yeah, well, thank you once again to everybody. Thank you, Sky, for hanging with us. And I guess we're done. We got a little funny Christmas song to play to end it out, and we're done.
Okay. You ready to hit it?
All right. We're hit it. Good night.
Okay. Good night, Sky. Here we go.
The first thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me is finding a Christmas tree. The second thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The third thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fourth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fifth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me, 5 months of bill.
Sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The sixth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
facing my in-laws,
5 months of bill.
Oh, I hate those Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up these lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The seventh thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
tell me should I be facing my in-laws,
5 months of bill.
Sending Christmas cards, oh geez, I'm trying to rig up these lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The eighth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
I want Red Farmer for Christmas.
Charity, what do you mean you're in-laws?
5 months of bill.
Oh, making out these cards. Oh, you just give me a beer, huh? Well, we have no extension cords.
Finding a Christmas tree. The ninth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
Finding parking spaces.
Daddy, I want some candy.
Donation. Facing my in-laws.
5 months of bill.
Writing out those Christmas cards. Hangovers. Now why the hell are they blinking?
And finding a Christmas tree. The 10th thing Parking at Christmas, that's such a pain to me.
Batteries not included.
No parking spaces.
Buy me something.
Get a job, you bum.
Anything that you want.
5 months of bill.
Yo ho, sending Christmas cards. Oh, jeez, look at this. One light goes out, they all go out.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 11th thing at Christmas, that's such a pain to see.
Sale TV special.
Batteries not included.
No parking spaces.
Oh my God, look so natural.
Charity.
She's a witch, I hate her.
5 months of bill.
Oh, I don't even know half these people.
Who's got the toilet paper?
Turn a flashlight on, no fuse.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 12th thing at Christmas, that's such a pain to see.
Singing Christmas carols. Sale TV special.
Batteries not included.
No parking. Charity.
Gotta make them dinner.
5 months of bill.
I'm not sending them this year, that's it.
Shut up, you.
Fine, you're so smart. You ring up the light.
And finding a Christmas tree.
On one of our Christmas shows, we'll have to do the Doug and Bob McKenzie 12 Days of Christmas.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And with that, we are closing this show out.
Yeah.
Yes, Stephen and Kate will be back Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Mortuary of Shadows.
And then Wednesday.
And then Wednesday for a poetic slice of life with our literature special, which we will be focusing on the quotes of J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, we have 6 to choose from. 4 of them we selected, and 2 Rick H. supplied. So I threw them on the topic board because they are pretty epic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though nobody's here, I know we have listeners. So did you just want to prattle those off real quick? This is one that Rick shared.
The mind that went too far. Okay. The mind that thought of light. I can't read my glasses.
Okay. All right, I'll read it for you. The mind that thought of light, heavy, gray, yellow, still. Swift also conceived the magic that would make heavy things light and able to fly, turn gray lead into yellow gold, and the still rock into a swift water. When we could take green from grass, blue from heaven, and red from blood, we have already an enchanter's power. And that one was shared by Rick H. And when he shared that with me, I told him I have to put that on the topic board. And this one, the next 4 are the ones that we chose. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And the next is, I would rather spend one lifetime with you than face all of the ages of this world alone. And the next is, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. And then the next one, it is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life. And then the last one was also shared by Rick. Not all those who wander are lost. And that's also Wednesday at 7. And then Thursday at 7, we are celebrating a new show that we call Movement of Sound, and we are featuring the awesome music of the band Genesis. They formed in 1967, and they started out with Peter Gabriel. And Phil Collins, he was a drummer, but then when Peter Gabriel decided to branch out and pursue his own career, Phil Collins stepped up as the lead singer, and the rest is history from there. And we will be featuring on some songs that I know probably some have not heard, because when they first started, their music was considered folk, very poetic. And I know for me, I love a lot of their songs from the 80s, but I adore a lot of the songs from the 70s because they are very poetic. The songs are lengthier because of the instrumental section, and then the words itself for the songs are very poetic, very depth-filled, very profound. Songs like Carpet Crawlers, Snowbound, Ripples, Mad, Mad Moon. Those are ones that definitely echo through me, and Heat Haze. And those are ones that I feel confident that not many are aware of because they mostly have focused on their career in the 80s when they turned, mainstream into pop. And then Saturday,
we're going to have a tribute show here at the Poetic Slice of Life, tributing Dudley Moore.
Yes.
He was a musician, a comedian, a composer, a screenplay writer, and an actor. A very talented man who was taken from us way too soon.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So we've included some trailers from some of his movies for people to get a little inspired. Arthur, of course, yes. The movie 10, Mickey and Maude, and Bedazzled are the 4 movies that we put in the topic board. But we'll also hear some stand-up comedy from him and Peter Cook. Some clips from the Arthur movie, and some music from him playing it as well. So it'll be a fun night.
Yeah.
And with that, we bid you all good night.
Yes.
And yes, there will be more holiday specials coming up because Kay and our holiday geeks.
You're holiday geeks, and I like themes.
Yep.
So, yeah, stay tuned. But these are our shows for this coming up week.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening in.
Yep, and good night.
Good night.